Good morning, folks, from London. Just a quick sound check, make sure you can hear me okay. Everything seems to be working just fine. Uh, just someone give me a thumbs up, we'll get going. Before we do, just Happy New Year to you all. 2018's rocked on. Say goodbye to, thanks Stevie. Say goodbye to 2017. Hope you all had a fun time. Nice break, but it's back to the screens. And here we are. And looks as though the year started with the continuation of where we left off last year, basically with the dollar weakness. Before we get into that, I'd like to welcome all the new people that have signed up over the holiday period. Quite a few new people in the room, so just so you know, we stream live several times a day. Normally kicks the European day off with Joel. Comes in around 8 London time, which is 9 European time. And then I come on various times throughout the trading day. The schedule's there in the Forex TV section, and then Mark comes on generally for the Australian session, but also sometimes makes guest appearances for us as well during the European session as well. A really cool insight to some technicals as well. So you're all very, very welcome. If you have any reasons to reach out to myself or indeed any of the mentors, you can do so by chatting in the room, of course, or you can, of course, send us a private message as well, because obviously we're not sitting in the room, watching the screen 24 hours a day. So if we've missed normally a comment, it's normally because we've got our eyes off that part of the screen. So send us a private message and we'll get back to you as soon as we get back onto the screens. And in fact, I've got 3 private messages now that have just been sent to me, which I'll have to catch up on later. So you can check the schedule of the streams here on the Forex TV section. That's where you can see the next stream when it's due. See here, Andrew Lockwood's live on now. And of course, if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to go to the Trading Academy. Trading Academy has some previously prepared modules done by myself and Mark, where you can click on those and just go through these in the usual sequence, setting the stage, treating it as a business. Some really cool content in there. So if you are new to trading, or indeed you've got some experience in trading, I would encourage you to have a look at that. There really is some cool stuff in there. Okay. Right, so here we are. US dollar pushing lower and continuing to push lower. Just have a quick look at the hi Midas, hi J Money. It's not actually Sir Lockie, it's Lord Lockwood, but that's okay. And VJ, good to see you again. Andy K, good day and Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year, Airbus. Hope you all had a good one. We had quite a tame one here, a few pints of beer in the pub with my mates, and then a bottle of champagne with the wife back home for the new year. Best way to do it. Gone are those days when I'm up in London partying like it's 1994. Those days are gone, definitely. Thank goodness, for me anyway. But I guess you youngsters are all out there doing it as you should be. But pleased to see the back of it. We've still got our Christmas tree up. There's actually a little bit of like a village green just down the road from my house here, and that's where people put their Christmas trees after the Christmas period. The real trees, they just deposit them there, and the local authorities come and pick them up once there's a significant amount of that. Funny to see some. I was out walking the dog. Christmas night, there's a couple of trees out there. Christmas night, people have had a bad Christmas if they've thrown their tree out before the end of the day. But they're certainly all piled up now. So it's we're not allowed to take our tree down for another few days for some reason. But I like to see the back of it now. It's all gone. Let's get on with the year. Okay, so the dollar's taken this grind low. I mean, we cited this last week. I think Mark was talking about it again on the chat earlier today. This we've significantly taken out this neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. So the dollar is just grinding lower and lower and lower as we speak. Now, a technical analyst will tell you that the target for here would be the distance between the top of the head and the neckline to extend that out, which we did on Friday, if you recall, if you were listening, and there weren't that many actually on Friday. But if you're looking at that you can see the neckline comes in at around 92.50, which is about 250 pips or so. So 250 pips from there basically takes you back down to around the 90.50 level. So that is our target. On the 1618 extension comes in at 90.80 from this level here. So this definitely is a target in the US dollar. And I've got to be playing the US dollar to the short side against stronger currencies. You know, we like to buy strength over weakness. There's no point trading continuation trying to pick a bottom. That's for a different strategy. That's our naked trade strategy. We'll have a quick look at that in a second. But the dollar is pushing out now. I'm prepared for the bend at the end of this trend at some point. Possibly another 100 points to the downside before we do find a bit of a base. It's a base for a number of levels. It's the completion of the head and shoulders pattern, and it's also the 1618 extension from this trading range that we've seen pretty much since the summer. So this would be a logical target. Now, of course, the lower a particular currency gets, it brings in inflation fears. A low currency normally aids the fueling of inflation. So the lower this currency goes, the more likelihood you're going to start seeing the emergence of some inflationary data out of the US. And of course, when that starts happening, that's when the dot plot comes into play again, and they start talking about the continuation of interest rate rises. So I'm mindful that the dollar is certainly having a downward move, but I'm not taking this down on a long-term trade in terms of running to the exit for the dollar for the whole of 2018 just yet. Okay. Also, if you look at bond yields, I mean, bond yields in the US at the moment, the 10-year yield holding steady at, it was when I looked last few hours ago. Yeah, I mean, bond yields are holding steady at 243. I use investing.com for this to look at my 10-year bond yields, we're holding quite steady. So the dollar's roll to the downside could be running out of steam. Now, this you might think is contradictory, because when I start going through the pairs, I'm going to be looking at trading dollar to the short side, and that's the way I'm doing it, because I haven't seen the bend at the end. I get caught at the end, but I trade what the charts are giving me, not what I think will happen. What I think will happen is the dollar's going to find some support in the next, in the next 100 pips to the downside or so. But the way I trade, I have to trade what I see is happening. I have a series of set of rules, and that's what I follow. And that's basically what how I ended off last year by talking about set of rules. You've got to have a set of rules that you follow, and this should be your New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution in the Forex market. Obviously, what you do in your personal life is different, but what you do in the Forex market, you've got to have a set of rules. Have a trading strategy written down and follow it. If you want to test yourself, do a 25 trade test on yourself to see if you can follow your own strategy for 25 trades. I go on about that all the time. Very important lesson. I'm going to do a module on it, in fact, indeed, on in the academy maybe this week. Make sure you have a set of rules and follow them. So trade what the charts are giving you, not what you think, because what you're thinking quite often might be right, but it's much easier to fall into the emotional trading when you start trading what you're guessing, basically thinking what you think is going to happen. So dollar at the moment continuing to push lower, but mindful that it might find a base at some point, which is why I'm quite looking forward to seeing something appear on the naked trade setup. For those that don't know what the naked trading strategy is, it's in the Trading Academy, which again, just messing around with the screens here, you can access by going back to the Trading Academy here, going to my series of modules, adding to this again this next few months. We'll be putting lots of more content in the site as well, which brings me to another. Anything you want covered, anything that someone was mentioning, I saw in the chat earlier about the crypto space and what have you, and maybe something going on there. Maybe we'll do something in there. But if there's anything you want covered in the academy, let myself or Mark or any of the guys here know at Forex Signals, and we'll if we think it's worthwhile, which chances are it will be, we'll put something together for you. So please do interact with us. This is your Trading Academy at the end of the day. It's here to aid people in the room. So anything you want covered, let us know and we'll see if we can add in some modules on it. So if you go to my section here, you'll see the naked trading. Clicking on get started, you will be able to see the various modules here. There's about a couple of hours of modules talking about this particular strategy. If you go to strategy introduction, you will see this link here, and this link is to an MT4 expert advisor. Okay, and you can plug that into your trading account, be it demo or live. It doesn't matter. It's not linked to any particular trading account or broker. You can literally trade it with anyone, use it with anyone, and it pulls up basically an expert advisor that looks something like this. Okay, it's under my naked trading tab. And what it shows you is there's three different set signals here. You can have monitoring, opportunity, or pending, or setup, trade setup, imminent or due, or something like that. It comes out in yellow. Can't remember what it says now. It's been a week. But this basically means an opportunity has happened from the last night's close, which obviously was on Friday. And we're looking for reversal patterns at strong support and resistance. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that now, but just looking at the screen, that pound CAD looks like one shaping up here. But yeah, so we look for these reversals. That's why I'm quite looking. If I see something happen in the dollar at some point, that is going to be, it's going to confirm, give me a reason to enter the trade for that dollar reversal. Should it happen at some point? These signals don't come every day, but when they do come, they are quite powerful indeed. And there's a series of rules that you need to follow trading the strategy. So what I do, I touch on these in the morning stream just to see if there's anything happened from the night before. But again, if you've got this expert advisor on your platform, you should be able to see for yourself anyway. But let's have a quick look. We've got an opportunity possibly developing in the pound CAD. You can see opportunity here, pound CAD. So this is the pound CAD screen, and the reason why this has been highlighted is because of this little pattern here. Okay, this is your bullish engulfing pattern. So I'm looking at not the latest candle, obviously that's today, but I'm looking at the previous two candles. So this here. So you can see here this bullish candle here. This bullish candle completely engulfs the previous candle. We've traded down through a support level, and we draw our support and resistance lines by going to the line chart. Okay, which is basically the best way to look at support and resistance. You see here this line being drawn in because of this this price action. It's where the market basically closes on that particular trading day, so it ignores the wicks, ignores the lines either above and below. So it just looks at the closes. So they're very powerful levels on the daily chart. So you can see here that we've closed through this level of support, traded through, I should say, and closed higher, fully engulfing the previous day. This is at the end of this trend to the downside. Okay, so this is you've had like a 600 pip move from the high to the low, or touch this low once, so maybe you take it from there. So you've got 400 pip move. This could potentially be a reversal now. This is this is what the signal is looking for. So what we'll do here would look to take a long entry, which I think we'll take on this one if we get up there. I put this on a separate account, by the way. This is on because quite often you'll have quite wide stops in here. Okay, so you need to have it's a different strategy than my day trading stuff, so I have it on a separate account, quite wide stops. So you need to have a lot smaller trade size to your for your account. I recommend you don't bet the you put in 1/4%, 1/2% on the account on this. Okay, here for example, you can have 150 pips stop. The only issue with this one though, folks, and we do talk about this in the academy, is how far you've got until the next take profit target, okay, because that's where we enter the trade in two parts. So we exit in two parts. First exit is 50% off, and then stops to break even. But we've got to have a clear path to first take profit target, and our first take profit target is only 45 pips away before we come into what I previously drawn in as some resistance. I just checked to see if that is resistance, if it's valid, and well, you can see here that it is valid. It's a valid level that could very well hold it. So this level here, and this is basically the base of all this move to the downside before we flew up again. So quite frankly, this is mostly a high risk trade. Three times, twice we've held it there. So this is the next level. Haven't really got the space to take this trade with quite a big stop loss of 130 pips or so. So you wouldn't take this trade. Okay, no, you wouldn't take this trade at the moment. You'd want to see it, pull back down. But bear in mind, this could be, even for intraday stuff, could be, a potential time to, look at buying pound against the CAD. But profit targets above there would be up at 1300 pips, up at 71.40. Okay, so you've got two profit targets up there. Yeah, I won't take that one, but that's the setup. We've also got one possibly in the Euro CAD. Let's have a look at the Euro CAD. The Euro CAD. Where's the Euro CAD? Should be up here somewhere. They've all gone out of sync. Okay, well, this is this bullish engulf as well. So it's obviously the euro behaving the way the euro is catching a bit today and Friday. That's what's creating these signals. And this is a bullish one. It's moving in the right direction at the moment. I mean, haven't taken the trade. I missed it now by 25 pips or so, but it's moving up to take profit target 2 again. First day back from the holiday period, I didn't get to the screens enough in time to look for this one. But it's a valid trade. But first profit target will be up at 51.80. Okay, second profit target is going to be up at 52.60. Okay, so you've got maybe 120 pips to the upside. This is quite a bullish little pattern here, especially it's come into this support. You can see the support has been respected a number of occasions. You see it on the line chart here. This is a really clear way to look at it. It just makes you got one there. I mean, here it's just very well respected. Incidentally, does anyone have a drawing tool that you can use on MT4 when you're streaming? I've got this ink to go, but I don't think it works when I'm on stream for some reason. Oh, it does. Hang on. There we go. Is that coming across on the screen? Does that come across? That's interesting how that does. So you got your level there, there, there. Is that coming across on the actual screen? I can't see, of course. That'd be handy if it does. Drawing scene. Okay, thanks, Wizard. Excellent. Okay, wonderful. Good, because it cost me £20. That 20 quid. That didn't think it worked. So you can see there's definitely clear levels of support here, coming to touch it and pushing up higher now. So I've forgotten how to use this now. Yeah, so I've got to clear them off before I move the screen. So back to the candlesticks. Okay, so we've taken out higher than 5 pips higher than the high of that range. Higher than that candle gives you a buy entry. Again, I haven't taken the trade. but there's one for you. So this, you can see, are powerful signals. Let's see if this one plays out. Let's stick an arrow in there. So that was that's the Euro CAD. The other one we are seeing here is the Euro Pound. The Euro Pound, guys, this is my trade. Euro Pound is going to 90 and above, well, I think anyway. But now this is giving you some opportunities to get in. Yeah, there we go. Euro Pound. Oh right, no, yeah, of course. This is not a signal here. This has been thrown up as an opportunity because of this pin bar, this hammer candle. But it's with the trend, so it's not a signal. But I was going to look at that later. We'll come on to that when we go through the charts in a moment. But yeah, this is that's the reason why that one was thrown up. Please, my new tool. Right. All right. Thanks, JD. Thanks, Stevie. Thanks. And it's supported by a daily rising trend line. Yeah. Are you talking about the Euro Pound, Dindle? VJ. Cartman, Happy New Year. Kumusta ka? Magandang umaga. It's about the limit of my Philippine language. Yeah, that was the EuroCAD. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so let's have a quick look. I haven't traded this. I haven't traded yet. I haven't traded the start of the 2018. I never trade between Christmas and New Year, just because I never have. It's time for me to get off the screen and concentrate on other stuff. Generally, I am popping in all the time, but I make a point of not trading, and I haven't traded 2018 yet. But my bias has to be at the moment. I'm not going to pick a bottom in my day trading stuff. That's the naked trading stuff. So my day trading will be trend continuation. So let's have a quick look at the euro dollar. Okay, so here we are. Clicking where are we up now? Up at 2065. Okay, when I was looking this morning, we were looking at highs of 2050. It's just continued to grind up high, isn't it? So that's really small. Let me make that bigger for you. So where do we get into this? I mean, my target basically is up at the 2110 level. I think this is going to take out the previous high, which comes in at 2090, I think, 2091, I think it is more accurately. But once we surpass that, the target that I would be looking at would be the 1618 extension, which is basically this move here. So from the high 1960 down to the low from end of November to middle of December, this range, which was respected, 50% of which was respected on the way back up, we have finally taken off from. So this is a definite setup in terms of Fibonacci, if you like. Now I'm not a big Fibonacci trader, but I do use the 1618 extensions and the 50%, which isn't a Fibonacci number, but it's on the retracement tool. So this is definitely some valid levels for this. For this. So from that peak to this trough, okay, the 1618 extension of that move has got to be my initial target. Comes in at 2110. This has every potential to keep going on into the month. Euros still, we're seeing some solid data coming out of the eurozone. That's going to be the talk of the town, I think, over the next few months about tightening there, or normalisation, I should say, which is a tightening, of course. And as that continues to carry on, I think the euro is going to find itself, with some buying interest from some of the bigger players. So trading intraday, where's our entry now? There's our target up at 1.618 extension at 21.10. Okay, you've got to get in at a level. Well, my analysis. My analysis would have me enter a pullback. I mean, it's a 50 pip pullback now, so it's maybe looking as though we've maybe missed the boat on it. But if you want to be more aggressive, I could look at this as the highs from last week at 2020 and take 50% of that move back down. That would mostly make sense, although it doesn't conform with anything else, just to 50%. I like to normally have a bit of a level of confluence, be it 27. But that would work. 280R pullback. So I like to have a 280R pullback, 50%, and previous structure, support or resistance. So we're trading now at 2070. Intraday, let it pull back. Let it pull back to this zone here, which I beg your pardon, just take that off, to this zone here, which comes in at the 2050 level. 2050 level, well, then you can, I will get the hang of this tool. Pretty cool if you know how to use it. Then you can have your target up there with a 60 pip take profit target, 40 pip stop, better than 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, buying strength over weakness, so it ticks those boxes as well. We like to buy strength over weakness. That is why we trade the Forex market. There's 28 different currency pairs, of course, and the reason why we trade the currency market is because there's always something outperforming something else, as opposed to the stock market, which is either going up or down, or any other trading commodity. Bitcoin, up or down, but the FX markets, of course, we can trade any currency against each other. Here we are. Euro is the strongest currency on the 4-hour. Dollar is the weakest on the 4-hour. It's also going to be the same on the 1-hour, I thought. Yeah. So Euro up there and dollar down. CAD's been pulled down as well. Euro CAD. We looked at that, didn't we? But Euro CAD. Here's another one. Anything above the line is deemed to be a stronger currency than anything's below the line, but it's not necessarily where they are. It's also to do with the trajectory, where they've come from, where they're coming. So you can see the euro has come from this level. It's coming from a level of weakness. When you look at the pound here, pound is just above the line. So it's a stronger currency, but it's heading down. So you need to be mindful of the position of it, where it's come from, to where it's going. All right, let's have a look at dollar yen. So dollar yen has this move back from last week. So the breakout zone takes you up to 13.10, sort of 15 area. This is where we broke out, trades lower, and then pulls back up. It pulls back up to the 50% mark as usual. Okay, and that's basically the high of the small little rally you saw in the Asian session last night or this morning, depending of course where you are in the world. That's literally stored there. It's stored there. I mean, that's not. That's just again. It's just another clear example. It's pushing lower now into my target level of 1208. So this is the level down here. I mean, I've missed this one definitely. But that was the trade from last night. You know, that's your move. That's your pullback. 50% looking left, straight into some structure. It was the base of this blue line I'd previously drawn in. So clear level of entry at 1280, but yeah, that's as tall as Tokyo Open. Yep. Well, it opened here, didn't it? And then opened at 2060 up to 2080, and then rolled back. Yeah. Dollar yen TP target is 1279. 1279 for what? For long? You're going longs here? 1279 was the area sort of end where we rolled over from. Yeah. I mean, your first target is down here, clearly. I mean, that's where we're going to be touching in a minute. You know, it's the 1618 extension from this move. It's also the base of the ascent twice. Okay. So this is a big level. I mean, you can't underestimate the importance of this level here at 12. You know, this is structure. If it breaks this structure, then yeah, I mean, then we're down to initial support 1170, and then back down to 1070, isn't it? I mean, that's got to be the target that's on the bank's minds. You know, do you trade it that way? Well, I think you have to. You know, let's just have a look at the stock market. Resilient. Yeah, well, I think you trade it. I think you still have to trade it lower, don't you? I mean, you pick bottoms by sure, you know, and whether you want to sell it here would be the question. I mean, that's straight bang into this level of support. I wouldn't. I want to be back. I want to be setting it back up here. I want to see it bounce back up. If I miss it, I miss it. But it's going to be a high risk trade setting it at this level, quite frankly. You know, trend continuation trader, that is the trend, but this is just a key level. Okay, and I'd want to see us back up here really. 1250 to 1250 to 13 handle. I think you know, and setting in here on a bit of a bounce. This is the first test of this low now, so I'll be waiting for a bounce before I sell this one. I'll leave this for now. Although the yen is looking strong, look, there's the yen up here. Yen is coming stronger. I was looking at euro yen earlier as a potential buy, but the yen's now just catching some bids, so maybe my bets are off there. But euro yen sort of flirting now with almost 2-year highs, I think. Now the yen's taken a bit of a. This is here you go. This is our buy zone we had in from last week. previous resistance, support. This is where we stalled, broke back down 50%, tests it here. I mean, this is a classic setup. Yeah, this is your buy zone. There's your top, pulls back down 50%, takes off again, and it stalls exactly at the 1618 extension, time and time again. You know, that's exactly where we've stalled at 35.50 for now. But we'll have to see how the yen performs, whether the yen carries on catching a bid. But for me, you know, I'll be looking Pa'alam Katman. But yeah, I would look to trade trade this with this trend in mind. I mean, this is a bit of a pullback. I wouldn't be getting too concerned about the yen catching a bid in the last hour. You know, you need that for these pullbacks to happen. So I think the next logical entry here has to be around 35.20. You know, for me. Yeah, waiting for a pullback. Very good to wait, Andrew. That's one of the most important lessons you can learn from trading. Patience really is so important. So many traders are feeling that they sitting at their desks and they feel they've got to be in a trade now for the excitement of it all. I went horse racing last week. You know, great fun. You know, it was great fun because I don't bet a lot. I only had like £10 a race or something. But it's more fun watching it when you had when I had money on the horses. I actually lost eight races. I actually lost eight out of eight. So I wasn't very lucky, but you know, but it's fun when you got a bet on it. You know, I don't know what I was selling to win, not a lot. Wouldn't have paid for the day, but so that's the same as a forex market. People feel they've got to have a trade on to make it worthwhile and be fun, and that's just the wrong way to be when you're trading. You need to be patient. You need to wait for the moves, and sitting on your hands doing nothing is yeah, it is. I know you read that in a book somewhere, and I've read it in books as well. No trade is actually a trade. It is. Yeah, I've read that. I think yeah, buy, sell, or do nothing. All three valid trades. No, 8 losers out of 8. No, I was asked many years ago to work for a company called Betting Industry, trade basically sports betting, which I declined. I was too busy doing this, but that's where basically you can, as a private individual, you can lay the market as opposed to always placing bets. You can you know, lay the odds, i.e. be the bookmaker. And clearly, that's the best way to do it, isn't it? I don't know enough about horses, unfortunately, but it's good fun, good day out. Sit there in the champagne tent. And yeah. Right, so yeah, so euro yen. Yeah, that's your level 35.20. Okay, but we are at 2-year highs in this now. I mean, this is again, but I did say that to you last week when we were trading at 34.40. I said, you know, 34.40 is a level. It didn't even touch the sides. Was it? Yeah, didn't even touch the sides at 34. And this was our level that we were sort of holding last week, or was it last week? Yeah, beginning of December. Gosh, that's flown by. And then we just smashed through it. You know, came back down to test it again, of course, and took off. But you know. 40, I mean, 140 euro yen is not impossible at all, is it? This certainly could have that, you know, we haven't quite made the full retracement of this move to the downside. I bet you it stalls at 50% somewhere. Where is that from there to there? So there's your 50%. Thought about it there, didn't it? That's exactly where it thought about it before it check off again. So euro yen at 35.20. Remember now, just for those of you that are new to the room, and I know there's quite a few of you in here that are new. You know, when I go through the charts, I go through a number of different pairs, currencies, looking at different setups, all that. And you might think, well, why isn't he taking all these trades? Well, I don't take every trade that I see. I put my trade signals out. I take trades that I think are higher risk, higher probability, less risk. And you normally know when I've taken one of the trades. But this is just giving you an insight into how I analyze markets, how I look at levels of interest, and hopefully, by seeing how I would, or myself, or Mark, or Joel, or look at markets, you might get an idea. And ultimately, the only way you're going to achieve success as a trader is to have your own set of rules and have your own style. You can model it off one of us or whoever else you may follow. But I don't take every trade that I take. I mean, for example, I most probably would not be taking personally the euro yen at this moment in time, purely because of just where we are in the cycle. 2-year highs, you might find that to be less risk, less probability, less higher probability on that trade. So I would be analyzing, but not necessarily taking every trade that I'll look at, and then I'll always refer back to this strength meter. Looking at the commodity currencies last year ended the year on a high. They're not performing too well today. But that doesn't mean, again, that it's running to the doors either. Certainly, the dollar, CAD or Aussie against US dollar is something you might want to look at. Here we go, dollar CAD. See, dollar CAD. Here's my zones I was looking at earlier. This is coming into this. This is the daily now. So remember, the daily lines of support and resistance are pretty powerful. Okay, and this one comes in at 24.40. This, am I still on live, by the way? Because my MT4 keeps dropping. On this is IC Markets. Am I still on? Have I dropped off? Still on. Thanks, Andrew. Okay, got it. Thanks. This, I don't know if it's only just me or IC Markets. My ETX is still up. Yeah, okay. So dollar CAD. Okay, dollar CAD 124.40 to the downside. That's your level of support to watch. Okay, so we're basically about 60 pips away from there at the moment before you're going to come into some decent, potentially decent resistance. Okay, so let's have a look here. This is our usual setup. Here's my level of significance. Okay, basically the high of last Friday hits the new low, which is the same low from Friday. Again, the pullback into 25.50, another round number, would constitute an entry for me. I'm actually gonna have a look at that one. Okay, so I'll be looking at that one. 25.50. If you have a little bounce back up there, it's only 20 pips away. That's less than 2 ATR pullback from here. Okay, looking at the extension level of 24.75. 1618 extension comes in at 24.75, gives me a 75 pip take profit target. I'd have a 45, 50 pip stop, better than 1-to-1 with the trend. That's nice, nice trending market. This one, yeah, really nice. That taking out this, I don't know if you call this neckline, but it's taking out the support zone. It's a double head. I don't know if it is, but Mark's the one that can comment on that, whether you call that a double head and shoulders. Definitely not. The yeah, so this is in an opportunity, but again, you've got the main player here. CAD's not really putting its weight today, but the this is the main player, is the US dollar. Aussie stalling at the 1618 from this move. This is actually not a bad little setup to take long here. This has been stepping up nicely. Yeah, that's no. When you get trends like that where they trade up and retrace and trade up and retrace, that's really quite healthy. Higher probability. And this is just a great level. 78.20. If it comes back down to here, comes back down to here on the Aussie dollar. It's the 50% pullback from this move, from consolidation from the low to the new high, where it's bounced off it 4 times on the hourly. Pulls back 50%, 78.20. Okay, that is a 24 pip pullback, which is exactly 2 ATR pullback. It's 50% and it's structure. There's 3 boxes you're ticking there. Okay, my target would be initially 78.70. I'm going to take that trade if it gets back down, by the way. 78.70. So a good 50, 60 pips take profit. $30 pip stop. 2-to-1 with the trend, solid trend. You know, at some point the trend's got to end, but you could have said that here, you could have said it here, here, here. Until it does, go with it. You know, for me, got to have reasons to enter. My profit target, I'm looking on the daily now, just going back here. It's 78.70. The highs is at 78.80. So yeah, you wouldn't want to leave it up much more. So 78.70 is good enough for profit targets on that. You don't want to be. This could be the next level of resistance up here. Certainly, this is where you could hold. So, but our profit target is going to be in before that. So that one we'll have a go at if we get if we have a little pullback. Right. Pound yen. I haven't spoken too much about the pound at the moment. Pounds. Yeah, I'll talk about the pound yen and euro pound, and then I'll call it a day. We'll call it a day for this little first stream of the year. This is yen again, putting on a bit of a bid, so be a little bit mindful of that. That's why you're seeing this pullback, but you know. Here we are. Look. there's your entry. Yeah, this yen bid is helping. What's the pound doing? Excuse me a second. On my index. Pound took a hit on these numbers. This is the pound on the 1 minute index. Pound took a hit on the numbers, is now catching, coming back. So yeah, 151.80. I mean, it's bounced off it already, so bounced off it 20 pips or so, but that's exactly where it bounced from. The 50% move, and you're looking left, it was the high. Where's the old? There you go. There. And this is the 50% zone. Please see this tool finally works. But yeah, I mean that one again is classic entry. It pulls back. Where's it stall? 51.87. You take that trade. 75 pip stop. 150 pip TP. Comes in at 53.36. 53.36 is just at this peak here as well. So you might pull the take profit target in, to 53.20, something like that. That's why this 1618 extension level is also always very poignant. There's your range. There's your 1618. Comes up to just the previous high. Buying into support 51. That makes sense. That trade. And euro pound. Euro pound is going to be trading up. 90 is my target on this. Okay, but the initial take profit target will be coming in around the 87.25 level. Okay, entries. This has been our trading range for a while. Just bear with me a moment. So that's the trading range. Broken out of this range now, so you can take an entry actually here. Actually, here is I mean, if you pull back to 88.90, another 10 pips or so, that's a valid entry, definite valid entry. That 88.88. That is something I will also look at. Take a 35 pip stop. First profit targets. 89.20 is not bad, but if you want to take it up to 89.50, get to 1-to-1, move to break even. Here's a way. Please can one download the momentum meter from D. Tony. You can download the momentum meter from the site I'll tell you, I'll just send you a link now so you can download it from here. Unfortunately, I did a tidy up of my desktop on the weekend. I don't know where I'll put everything. There you go. All right, there's your pound dollar. Richard, Happy New Year. So 36.30, well, the high is 36.50, isn't it? So 36.25 is the is my profit target. Okay. Okay, and that basically pulls you up to the 1618 move from here. So from let's click to the high, a little bit higher now, but so your entry stays the same as discussed. Entry 35.10, 20. Conservative entry, that is the small c. 36, 40 pip stop. You can even afford yourself a bigger stop than that. You're going for 136.35. Okay, that's 120 pips. So that's a big risk reward on that. But you know, I think yeah, I think you have a 60 pip stop, 2-to-1 risk reward. That's where I'd be trading that. I want to place my stops below this level here. Okay, below below oh, it doesn't want to work now. Mind of its own, that tool. Yeah, my stops want to be below here, 35.50, 34.50, I should say. So I think 60 pip stop, take profit target 36, 30, 36. 30. I mean, the pound's got every potential to have a good year. This is not a trading statement. This is a view. I don't trade views, but it's got potential to have a good year with interest rates on the move there. The inflation numbers still strong. The Brexit talks, decent data coming out of the UK zone. So I'm quite liking the pound. All the PMI services last month were good. It's a great bunch of PMIs, some great retail sales numbers. Yeah, average earnings was all up. Nationwide house prices were up. GDP. Yeah, so I mean, some good numbers still in the UK, and so I'm liking the pound. Of course, buying it against weakness makes sense. Buying it against the US dollar makes sense at the moment. Whether you want to look for weakness somewhere else as well, potentially. CAD's on the back foot. You bought pound dollar off the 5 minute. Good. Right, well, we've got non-farm payroll this week and FOMC minutes on Wednesday. So so that might give us a clue to where the dollar is going to go, whether it's going to continue its down path or whether we're going to see some support coming into the dollar fallout. So that's on Wednesday and Friday. Fridays we'll be streaming live non-farm payroll. I'll be online for that. But also Friday is going to be the December prize giving. So we have $700 going randomly, drawn online drawn online to someone in the room. $700 goes straight into your IC Markets Live account, because they're sponsoring it, they're paying the prize money. It's not me paying it, or Nick, or anyone. So you need a live account for IC Markets, of course. $500 goes to the best trade idea for the month of December. So it's always worthwhile doing your trade ideas, and $300 goes to the best contributor for the month of December in the room in general. So that's going to be on Friday, alongside the wet t-shirt giveaway. So make sure you put that in your diary for Friday. D page, I'll get back to you in a moment. You just sent me a private message off screen. I'll get back to you in a moment. Let's have a quick look at the trade ideas that got us going in 2018. I was reading this earlier, if anyone saw this. Will the Bank of England offer a bit style cryptocurrency? I thought this was quite interesting. I think this is quite interesting, and so the Bank of England are considering having its own cryptocurrency, which always slightly defeats it because it's going to be regulated by the BOE. But it will basically give the Bank of England more oversight of money flows, and obviously that's what they want to do. They want to be able to control it, and that's why cryptocurrency is basically being developed in the first place. But anyway, the Bank of England are considering it, which is significant. So it will definitely give the will definitely give more another layer of respectability to the cryptocurrency space here. So I think this is pretty interesting. And of course, if they were to do something like this, then the actual Bitcoin itself could come under considerable pressure as the competition comes in. Very interesting. I don't know if you are following Bitcoin and the cryptos, but I found this pretty. The Bank of England start making a move, and it's just going to be followed by other central banks as well. And then the Bitcoin's euphoria could have its steam taken out of it pretty quickly, I would have thought. Right, let's look at some trade ideas. All seems to be dominated at the moment. Okay, so this is the Aussie New Zealand 4-hour chart, and this is please give a pending order. Okay, I'm not quite sure what the targets. Well, I'm not quite sure what the strategy is, but thanks. So you can watch these in your own time. Henri, small trade, buy gold above 1308. That's a trend, isn't it? Yeah, this is wrong, but nice trending. That's just dollar weakness, isn't it? Dollar weakness. Dollar catches a dollar finds support. You find the dollar. You find the gold roll back. Still a newbie. So I appreciate any feedback. Bitcoin forming a wedge on the hourly. I believe it will continue to follow the recent downtrend, but Bitcoin, you can never be sure. Can't be sure of anything, but yeah, even more so with Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't know if it's got that much. But yeah, there's a wedge there certainly. Breaks here. Could trade lower. I don't know if the housewives are watching that though, are they? There's not any housewives driving, of course, but Pound yen, long entry. Yeah, I like that one. Breakout, pull back, 30-minute trade. Nice. I like this Night BK. I think you've won the trade competition once before. But I like the way you've signalled here. Yeah, multiple entries, take profits, stop loss. Makes sense. So thanks for that, Night BK. Right, guys, I've gone on way too long. I will leave it there. Good to be back 2018. Let's make it a good one. Remember your New Year's resolution. Get your trade strategy written down. Buy a bit of laminator. Get it written down. Get it on your screen, on your desk. Make sure you tick all the boxes before you make your trade. And make sure you follow your rules. Do a 25 trade challenge. We are having a drought here today. Send water with the shirt. It's absolutely kicking it down outside with rain. Yeah, well, hopefully the drought doesn't affect you too badly. Okay, folks, I'll be back on later for the US lunchtime review. I've got some trade notifications or some alerts waiting to ping me. If I see any trades that I'm taking, I'll drop it in the trade signals. In the meantime, trade safe, keep the chats flowing, relevant, and keep the trade signals coming as well. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Tweedy, Ibas, Wizard, Jenny, and so forth. Let's make 2018 a good one.